بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على الأشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا Muhammad وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Today is the 5th of October 2013, corresponding with the date the 29th of Dhul Qa'dah 1434, and we are about to start our second session, Al-Liqa al-Maftu', an open discussion with our Imam and Ustad Omar Jamaykee. We're in the office of Masjid Ibn Taymiyyah Brixton, and we have a number of questions in this session related to the science of Jarh wa Tadeel and questions related to the topic. Assalamu alaikum, Omar. The first question is the science of Jarh wa Tadeel still being used today, or is it, as some of the scholars have said, that it is a science that has ended?
Bismillah. Wassalatu wassalam Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man sara sabilihi ila yawmiddin, amma ba'd. As for the question regarding some of the statements of some of the ulama regarding Jarh wa Tadeel, is this science applicable today or not, then there are some statements of some of the ulama regarding this. But what is intended, as they themselves have clarified regarding that, what they intend regarding Jarh wa Tadeel is still of the science of riwat, that goes back to concerning those people, the narrators of hadith, and also matters relating to shuhud, people that relates to people give information to the qadi. So in that particular ways that is still being used and applied today. But what they kind of somewhat have tried to mention, that when they kind of somewhat show their or express disapproval of how this science is being used today, regarding, as Ibn Uthaymeen, or some of the ulama mentioned of them, Ibn Uthaymeen and others concerning that regarding concern is mentioned is not kalimat al-haq, that regarding Jarh wa Tadeel is the word of the haq, but ba'd an-nas yuridu bihi al-batil, but some people use it in a misappropriate way, and that's the thing that the ulama, or some of the ulama, have tried to condemn regarding that. Sometimes what is said to be Jarh wa Tadeel, which is a legitimate sense of Islam, but how it is being applied by some, where it becomes a matter concerning al-ghiba wa al-namima wa qil wa qal wa ta'an upon the ulama. So regarding if it is being used in this way, then most of the ulama are that they condemn it being used in this way. But as for matters regarding to the science of Jarh wa Tadeel, regarding the ruwat and shuhud and the likes, then it's a legitimate science that continue until Yawm al-Qiyamah.
What is the definition of Jarh Mufassal, the detailed criticism? What is the definition of that, please?
And regarding, as we mentioned before in the previous liqa, regarding Jarh wa Tadeel is of those science of Islam, and also that concerning various matters that need to be looked into and understand correctly. And of those things that is somewhat mentioned by some, which is of the masahil of Jarh wa Tadeel, which is of various masahil that are discussed. But you find that today many put a lot of emphasis regarding, as they would mention, which is a legitimate per se of the masahil concerning a Jarh mufassir muqaddam ala Tadeel, which is concerning that cases where you have that either some of the ulama, right, that they're in disagreement regarding a particular narrator or a particular person. There are those who might give Tadeel, might praise the person, and those who might have Jarh upon the person, people who have criticized and have said things that are negative about the person. So in those cases, what is the path regarding coming to a final conclusion regarding that particular case? So that's concerning mention concerning, so they mentioned this science concerning ta'arud, that there's a conflict, right, regarding a Jarh wa Tadeel. But in the case concerning that the Jarh is mufassar, that the Jarh is mufassar, meaning the Jarh is clear. And I mentioned concerning an-Nawawi, Ibn Hajar, Ibn Salah, regarding when they mention concerning a Jarh mufassar, meaning that Jarh one, it is mufassar concerning the sabab, the reason of this Jarh, it must be clear and outlined. And also it must be something which is thabit, that Jarh that a person is being accused of, or that criticism come upon a person, be something a person that he does possess. And also third concerning that Jarh, it should be something which is qadih, but it's something which is it does per se have a negative impact upon the person. So all those things are what they meant concerning a Jarh mufassir, that it includes all these things. So the Jarh should be something with the reason should be clear. Also it should be something that it really accounts to the person being deemed as a person whom that Jarh is thabit upon them, and also it is something that it does affect the person in a negative way.
Yes.
Then in those cases, then the Jarh mufassir muqaddam ala Tadeel. So that's concerning what is meant and intended by the ulama.
Is the term tamyi' or mumayyi' to be lenient towards Ahlul Bid'ah, an innovated term in the science of Jarh wa Ta'deel.
Regarding Jarh wa Tadeel, regarding this first, we want to kind of somewhat clarify regarding that, regarding Jarh wa Tadeel, regarding concerning that Jarh wa Tadeel, what is meant by the ulama regarding Jarh wa Tadeel concerning Jarh, is that science that is within the science of Ilm al-Hadith. Now, that initially it was established regarding verifying the ahwal, the state of the narrators, to kind of somewhat determine who are those narrators that we can take from them as they fulfill certain criteria that is clearly outlined, and also those who did not fulfill those criteria that also that we cannot take from them. Right? So that's concerning the essence behind the science of Jarh wa Ta'deel. So as and also with the science of Jarh wa Ta'deel, it have various concerning areas that a person has to be clear on, and of those things concerning the mustalahat that are used by the ulama of Jarh wa Ta'deel. So they have a certain type of vocabulary that are used concerning the ulama of Jarh wa Ta'deel. So is knowing those vocabulary and what they actually mean when they're used by the ulama. So as for those terms concerning the word at-tami' of those terms, as for myself, and I did study in the University of Medina concerning where I graduated at, the year that I studied was matters concerning Ilm al-Hadith. So as for this term, tamiya, I've yet to come to any per se of the ulama of past that they used to use this within the science of Jarh wa Ta'deel. So from my knowledge, I haven't per se come across concerning this particular term being used. From what I have read and understand, is regarding concerning the word tamiya is more from a more contemporary term that has been used per se, but not per se directly linked to the science of Jarh wa Ta'deel, which when the word tamiya is used, it's kind of somewhat trying to, it's a way to discredit a person. So that's concerning that particular term and how it is being used. So it is used in that context in present day time. As for relating back to the asl of Jarh wa Ta'deel, to the science itself, as for myself, I haven't per se come across this term being used by the ulama of Jarh wa Ta'deel within their vocabulary. Just also to add something that with Jarh wa Ta'deel, that I will mention it, understanding the alfaz, the wording that I use, and also I think that sometimes we need to maybe to discuss in brief concerning that. Not everyone who criticizes a person that is taken from them. As the ulama of Jarh wa Ta'deel within the science, they have also a thing to be looked in concerning those people whom that they are called mu'tamid, they are called, it carries some weight in the science. So that every person who speaks, his word is taken in the science, but they are people whom that they are considered to be the people of that science, and their words, it counts. Now, but also the ulama put certain criteria regarding those people for a person to understand this science, that or to speak about this science, that he must fulfill certain criteria. Of those criteria, the person should be that he himself, a person who's adl, a person who's upright, he's trustworthy, credible. Also, that person regarding that, he should understand the ahkam shar'iyyah, where he knows concerning that auto the science of Islam, so as that he knows to put things in their proper perspective regarding certain things that may be considered to be an akhata, error, or a certain rule, and a person might take that. So understanding how to put all those things in context. Also, a person should be clear concerning the asbab Jarh wa Ta'deel. What are the reasons that will cause a person to be considered to be credible, and those reasons that will cause a person to be dismissed, and other things that they have. And also the person of taqwa, wal wara, where the person concerned taqwa and wara, where the person is very conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and dutiful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that a person is not pushed by his desire or having ta'assub towards particular views or the particular group that will cause that person to be unfair to others, and go overboard regarding others. So taqwa or wara will keep that person somewhat in check. If those things are not there, then you'll find cases where people accuse people of things that they are, that is not correct, and they may also praise people who are not deserving that type of praise. So also with Jarh wa Ta'deel, bear in mind that there's condition that must be fulfilled regarding the person who wish to pass ruling upon others.
Okay. What is the difference between Jarh, criticizing, and Rad al-Mukhalif, refuting the one who has opposed the truth?
As I mentioned concerning Jarh wa Ta'deel, the principles concerning that Jarh wa Ta'deel is a science by itself, and also Rad al-Mukhalif is also, you may say, a different area of science, but both of them concerning they have things that they share, and things that somewhat they have a different, they go in different regarding particular matters. So Jarh wa Ta'deel regarding Rawat, and Rad al-Mukhalif goes concerning those people who have certain ideas or pass certain fatwa that goes against the Quran, the Sunnah. And sometimes, so those are the people who concern Rad al-Mukhalif. So it's more concerning those people who have ideas or views or taking position that there is clear that those things are in contrast to Quran and Sunnah. So those people may it may be wajib upon some of the ulama to refute those people and to clarify their opinion, but also their procedure to be followed. Their procedure to be followed and rules and guidelines regarding those matters. So those are two separate sciences per se. Between them is umum al-khusus. There's things that are common and things that are separate for each science, but those are two legitimate science, but have their rules and guidelines.
Okay.
And just to add that, sometimes might hear a person, some people might use the word Jarh or Tadeel when they really intend by it Rad al-Mukhalif. And this is because of, and they have somewhat, have entered Jarh wa Tadeel into the matter concerning Rad al-Mukhalif based upon, as mentioned by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani in Science of Hadith regarding that, critiquing a narrator, or the person being considered not being not acceptable as a narrator, it could be due to 10 reasons. It could be due to 10 reasons. A person could be a tan upon a narrator. And of those reasons that he mentioned, so he mentioned 5 of those reasons that relates to the person adala, and 5 relating to his adopt, meaning concerning a person's ability to retain and to memorize the hadith. As for the matter concerning a person's adala, that you find, I think most of those who talk about concerning Rad al-Mukhalif relating to Jarh Tadeel regarding from that level, that bab concerning a tan upon a person based upon his adala could be 5 things, as we mentioned, or mentioned by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. He mentioned 1, it could be concerning al-Katib. The person is known to lie upon the Prophet Islam in the sense of Katib, meaning that you lie upon the Prophet Islam. Then you have the second would be concerning Mutahim bil-Katib, a person who has been accused of lying in the sense of he doesn't lie upon the Prophet Islam, but he lies to others. Third reason could be concerning Jahala, the person is unknown. So there's no much information about the person, say whether the person is trustworthy or not. So that's Jahala. Also al-Fisq, so the person known to be a person who is involved concerning Kabahir, al-Dhunub, Fisq. And also fifth, concerning al-Bidah, that a person who of somewhat taken on certain views or involved in certain things of Bidah. So based upon this, the person adal will be lifted based upon the person falling into one or some of those areas. So the people can somewhat criticize people on the name of Jarh or Tadeel is more so in today what we see around us and in front of us is that people are generally criticized concerning Jarh or Tadeel in the sense of they order the person to fall into Bidah. So they can somewhat they use Jarh or Tadeel from that bab, from that particular angle. And that also has its own qawaid and principles. And not every person who may have certain bidah that is deserving to be totally rejected.
That leads on to my next question, which is, does the scholar who has been refuted for a mistake have to be abandoned completely?
Regarding a person falling into error, does he deserve to be abandoned completely? Then that also has certain tafsil. There's certain explanation regarding that. And if a person, and of those people, of the Mashaykh of someone give a very very straightforward explanation. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah in his explanation of Arba'in an-Nawawiyya, the 4th hadith of Imam Nawawi rahimahullah, he mentioned concerning the hadith of Ad-Din an-Nasiha. When he discussed that with the hadith, and he discussed concerning of the thing concerning an-Nasiha to Ulul Amr, to the people in authority, he mentioned concerning Ulul Amr that there are 2 groups, the Hukam and the Ulama. Then he went on to mention concerning as for the ulama, that what they're deserving of their rights, and also he mentioned concerning that like somewhat trying to capture and to give some type of guidelines regarding certain things that have occurred between the people of the Sunnah of contemporary times. So he mentioned concerning regarding an-nasiha to the ulama, and he mentioned a case or scenario regarding that if an alim or a person perceive that an alim fall into an error, then what's the way to go about dealing with this matter? So he can somewhat give certain type of steps to be followed. So of those steps that he mentioned, rahimahullah, he mentioned regarding concern that the first of those steps, the person first try to affirm that alim, I would say alim of the Sunnah, that alim of the Sunnah, that error is affirmed to him, that can be verified that he did say this thing or does hold that view. So first affirming whether those things go back to that alim. If that's the case, then he mentioned concern is not. Then the next thing will be concerned that looking at that thing that is perceived to be an error, or that alim is being accused as an error by others. Is this error that they say that they deem to be an error, that it must be put in line with the Quran and the Sunnah? So to look at that error to see in light of the Quran and the Sunnah, is it actually an error? Because sometimes, as you mentioned, that sometimes an alim may be accused of something to be an error, but in fact it's not an error. But due to the understanding of some, it may be in their eyes an error, but in reality within Islam, within the Quran and Sunnah, it is not the case.
No.
So the thing is concerned that we have to measure things based upon the Quran and the Sunnah in all case and circumstances. So to look to see this error, that's something to be an error, in light of the Quran and the Sunnah, is it deemed as an error? Then he mentioned in the next step then, if it's an error, then the person then, those people who hold that to be an error, to go to that alim, to sit with that alim, with adab, with ihtiram, nam. And also I mentioned, and in a nice way, put to his attention now, we have come to, what I've come to our attention, that this view, that you have, you hold this particular view, nam, could you give us some more clarity on this matter? Nam. So it's trying to kind of allow the alim to explain his situation. Nam. So put the issue to him and ask him, can you give further clarity on this particular issue that some may deem to be an error? And if the alim still hold to that view that that is seen to be an error, right? And they hold, then they can have a kind of munakasha or jidal with that alim, kind of somewhat no bil hujjah. But each would have to now bring forth their dalil to say, my view is stronger based upon adillah, not just based upon personality. So but it will be done that munakasha, that like of debate or that discussion with the alim will be done in a way concerning showing good manners, not accusing or attacking the alim per se, but discussing the issue to come to a conclusion. But at the end of it, that each still hold to their view. Then if those who hold, as you mentioned, and concern, if those who hold that that's an error, then they have a right that they can, and they say that alim is clearly wrong based upon hujjah, then they have a right that they can bring it to the attention of others. Bring it to the attention of others. If it's confirmed that it's an error and has been discussed, and the proof is against that alim. But in overall, it doesn't mean in all cases a person of an error that they should be, as you mentioned, to be refuted or boycotted and the likes. As also the ulama mentioned concerns, errors they fall into their tafawud. They have different categories and degrees. So you have certain errors that it doesn't warrant per se that level of the person refuting and boycotting. It does mean that you have a view that is contrary to my view, and maybe the matter is not very clear to the people involved, as there is no clear in the sense of there is no clear-cut dalil to say you are right or I am wrong. But based upon the ijtihad of a particular alim or a group of alim, they may come to different conclusion. So in those cases, it may not require to go to the degree of you have to make tabdiyah, you have to make al-hajar and all those things. And in some cases, yes, that the khata could be a matter concerning. The matter concerning is not majal ijtihad. It's not an area where people should be making ijtihad, but some people, maybe due to their own manahij, that they are upon their own per se method, which is incorrect, that they have made ijtihad in a matter they shouldn't. For example, of those people whom that they negate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sifat. They have made their own ijtihad and they have come to their conclusion, but that ijtihad initially it is incorrect. So their khata is serious, and it deserves to be warned against. And even to the degree that those people that hukum can be passed on those people whom after the clarity have been made to them, they still kind of somewhat consistent, persist on their way. So all those things have to be factored in regarding looking at those matters concerning al-khata.
Alright. Who are the scholars of hadith in our present time?
So the matters concerning who are the ulama for hadith in our time, those things go back to those people whom are known to be, are some they said that some people are known for their science. So of those names that I mentioned, from what I can mention, I was mention a few of those ones. Of those ones concerning that, you have Sheikh Abdul Karim Al-Khudayr, one of the ulama of Saudi in Riyadh, and a part of the Hiyat al-Kibar ulama. Also you have of those people who are known for hadith, and as mentioned, the Muhaddith of Al-Hijaz, who's the Sheikh Abdul Muhsin Abad, who's in Medina and teaching the propagated Islam Masjid. Also of those people who are known for ilm al-hadith of contemporary time, who are alive, that we can mention in of those concerning that we have of those Sheikh Muhsin Abad, we mentioned Sheikh Muhsin Abad, Sheikh Adam Ethiopi, we mentioned Sheikh Adam al-Ethiopi, of those ones who are known, and also of those ones who are coming up and very good and strong, but like concerning Sheikh Mashul Hassan and a few others. But those are some of the ones that in brief, that they are known for hadith and accepted by all.
Last question. What are the principles of boycotting the innovator? What are some of the principles of boycotting the innovator?
Regarding concerning of boycotting of items, the matter is Sharia. So the rules have to be laid on by the Sharia. As we know concerning Asl concerning of boycotting that in the Prophet Islam concerning Ka'b bin Malik and others, a few others that they were the ones who did not participate in the Battle of Tabuk. So when they came back, the Prophet Islam kind of somewhat, a sense of a boycott was placed upon them for close to 50 days. So it shows concerning the Asl of boycotting of people that it have a place in Islam. But also with this, also there's certain criteria regarding how to go about doing it. Now I'm looking at the Masalih and Mafasid regarding this boycotting act. So the ulama have laid on certain rules regarding these matters, and of those things concerning that of boycotting concerning of people concerning that the person actually fell into an actual error, a severe error that warrant the person to be boycotted, but the person have contradict after knowledge have come to him concerning matters concerning Quran and Sunnah. And also that the boycott also, it should be the people who should look at that as to who to be boycotted and who not to be boycotted concerning kibar ulama, that they are the ones who need to look into those matters regarding who is deserving of this, and looking at the extent of that person khata, the person error, or level of deviation. Also concerning that measure concern, like as they mentioned, the ulama mentioned concerning that boycotting concerning Hajj is like concerning a doctor prescribing medicine. So you have to look concerning what level, to what degree of boycotting that person is deserving. So the person don't go overboard where give him where the person is boycotted more than what he deserves. So those are some things that ulama have mentioned regarding boycotting. I have some books that have been written on that, some simple book that some give a general guide. I'll mention there's a few of those books that are useful. So I mention a few of those books. Of those that are written in that field concerning Dawah al-Hajr, concerning one of the Mashaykh from Algeria, who Sheikh Muhammad Ali Firqaus, well-known Mashaykh from Algeria. Also Sheikh Mashur Hassan as a book concerning Al-Hajr, that's very also beneficial. Also of those concerning Sheikh Ibrahim Rahili, his book Al-Nasiha, that I think have been translated, and have some of those principles. Also of those, Bakr Abu Zayd, Sheikh Bakr Abu Zayd, have a book concerning Hajj al-Mubtada, which is also a very useful book. So there was some basic book that give us some general idea about Al-Hajr and its principle. So those people wish to look into that further, they can return back to those books and others.
Jazakallah khair, Umar, for this session. Inshallah, till the next meeting, we will continue bi-idhnillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.